30%. Is what I heard. It was pretty big. Yeah. And it was pretty big when just the early voting was counted. Really? Yeah. Wow. The mail-in ballot. And then it really started widening. I think the folks who want to started. So let's see. In her speech, she compared herself to Lincoln. Yeah, right. Not even. Okay, good stuff. Peggy texted me last night that she was gonna come in, but I told her, don't push it. She said she'd see how it goes in the morning.
Yeah. She texted me last time and said, I haven't seen it, but
Don't. It's funny,
if these chairs, if you have a back problem, these chairs aren't for that.
yeah. I had knee surgery when I was overseas. One gift I got in Switzerland was being. And so I had, it wasn't real bad, but it's still.
Ligaments,
Yeah, meniscus maybe?
yeah.
But the doctor told me to keep ice on it. And he said that the temperature around the incision can run 8 to 10 degrees higher than the rest of your body. And I did that. I mean, I was just keeping ice on it, and it didn't. I mean, I was up and walking within a day, and I think it really helped the recovery. Good morning.
Now they actually have these machines that you wrap around your leg and it sends cold water through around the knee for, they say, I think it's an hour for every 3 hours or something like that. But you can keep it on longer.
This
It's
was
not
from years
cold
ago.
enough to really burn your skin or anything. Yeah.
Hey,
At least my doctor is
Peggy did come in today. She said she would. She texted both of us, and we both kind of said,
We'll be happy to see you, but.
STR.
Yeah, what's the last we heard yesterday? Oh, that's the end of those.
STR. And that's just 8:30. Holy shit. Yeah. There she is. Bright red.
It's alive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Down on the floor, do 20.
that's
If you
right.
can do it, then we'll let it stay.
I'm okay.
Are the girls working? Okay. All right, that's amazing. That's a good thing, yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. I was standing at the sink washing the dishes, and I turned, just turned. And that was it. I was like, he had to go get my walker. I was like,
Wow.
they gave me muscle relaxing, pain pills, and prednisone. And I had to eat something this morning to,
You eat everything in sight.
yeah. I had to eat something this morning.
Oh, yeah, we understand.
Who took my pen? Oh, here it
We did it.
is. Yeah. And you'll put this right here so I can know who I am.
Somebody did.
Okay. It's okay.
Oh, well. Now we put it out. That's your back.
Just in time. No, that wasn't for you. That was.
What's stuff happening?
Well,
No,
Oh.
yeah, it is. It's okay. We're learning.
we're learning, but,
Oh,
It's a new.
but you haven't had any of
do I have to go back in time to learn?
No, you do all right. You fit right in.
Oh, good. Thanks, Mom.
We don't understand.
Oh, my book.
Yes. Yeah, Jackie.
Did you read it?
I did.
Isn't
I
it
love it.
great?
They say there's a movie out
There is, and it's good. Okay. excuse me. And my machine.
Oh, let me get it.
Oh,
So the first account today is one of our favorites, short-term rental.
really?
How many? 8, 10.
Well, the first one is, this is the account, but it's.
Thanks, Stone. Yeah.
It's on page 3, account, case ID 2256. So, live person.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Well, two actually.
Oh,
What day did you read?
Page 33.
You don't like them. And it see one over 46.
Twenty-two fifty.
Yeah.
7046, yeah.
Excuse me. I'll tell you what, my husband takes real good care of me.
He's a good nurse, huh?
He's a good vet.
Just watch that thermometer thing.
Yeah.
He said, stall up. When I get a horse, I tell him the best thing, rest, stall
Yeah.
up. So he kept me in bed for 2
There you
days.
go.
So stall up, he calls it.
Did he cook and everything?
He did.
Man, you ought to ride that one out.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, especially, I mean, oh, it's too late now, but while you're working, you could have.
About next week, you need to ride that.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open the meeting. I don't see any reason why we can't start. I assume Jackie's awake in the back there and will show up shortly, or is she gonna do
Ray,
it?
Ray is going to be the district representative. He knows he's just on the phone right now, but he should be in shortly.
Okay, that's fine. So let's see, it's Wednesday, August 7th. At 8:27, and we are convening the session of the Aransas County Appraisal Review Board. We have quorum? Full quorum, great. Thank you. We're open for hearing, we're ready anytime you can start.
Yes.
Yes, it is all.
He's not here.
I'll do it. I can do it. Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, you want me to get?
No, bring the person.
Okay.
Where's Jackie?
I don't know.
He
I
has
didn't
something.
remember.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody wants to exchange places.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
She was talking about that yesterday.
well, if
Whoever does it, needs to come over here. All right, you're gonna do something.
She's too cute.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Thank you all for taking the time. Sure.
With Mr. and Ms. Waltz.
Yep.
I'm sorry, your first names?
Robert,
And Barbara.
Yeah, you're standing.
I gave it to the young lady.
Oh, okay.
She goes, everyone has a tablet, they don't need paper.
oh, and you, actually, we're gonna be projecting everything out
Okay.
there. You can use the tablet if you like.
Well, I know I'm used to getting a little handwritten.
I'll be right
Imagine what this was like before we had tablets and stuff.
Yeah.
Piles of paper, just, oh,
Not a big deal. I'm just used to actually physically
Hey,
doing
yeah.
stuff instead of playing on that.
That sounds like my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me guess, he's open-hearted, a guy like me, more advanced to the new world.
Amen.
Okay, while we're waiting on that, I'm gonna go ahead and open the hearing, and I have some administrative stuff to run through first, and at some point you'll be asked to swear in. When we reach that point, Val will help you do that.
Okay.
So we are commencing a hearing on case ID 2022-2256, account number 88184556.
2266.
You're right,
Okay.
and I told everybody the wrong one.
Okay,
Oh.
It's at the bottom of that page.
Okay, that's why you called out a different number.
That's why we have more than one person watching.
881845.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what you got here.
Oh, and now the name.
Amazing.
and there's two things, I was seeing that one thing in your calendar. Okay, good deal.
Okay. Start over. Commence the hearing on case ID 2022-2256. Cab number 88188456, which is 101 Fourth Avenue in Rockport. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. Verify under protest, which says Q1, Q2.
It is.
Okay. Which is market value and equity level. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. The four of us, five of us around the table are the ARB, and Frank Presley, who's in the back, is the district representative, Scott Arrington, and Val Smith are in the district as well, helping as appropriate. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed using the survey form that's available there. There's also a copy of that form that will be included in the determination package you receive in the mail that documents the results of the hearing. You can also take it online if you'd like, and the information about how to do that is at the top of the form. The survey is entirely voluntary, but we always appreciate any feedback you may want to offer. You also have the right to appeal our decision, and appeal information is included in that package that will be mailed to you, the document for determination. In accordance with tax code section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that has not been provided must be provided at this time. So we have some evidence from you that you, sounds like you provided or submitted everything that you intend to reference during the hearing. Great. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Scott Wagner, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.6. Yeah.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with a person in violation of tax code 41.66. I, Joanne Ferguson, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Ron McKenna, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66.
I, Peggy Bird, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. So at this time, we have to swear in and valid. So we can do that. I'm gonna let you go first. Learn what to do.
I, Barbara Walls, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
I, Robert Wall, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board of the Aransas County Appraisal is true and correct.
To the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District.
Okay, folks, I need to ask if either of you hold a license or certificate from the Texas Appraiser License Certification Board.
No.
Here. That chart right here is the hearing procedure time that shows how we're going to run the hearing today. Takes two forms. One is if you present first, and the other is if the appraisal district presents first. You both have equal amounts of time, regardless of who presents first, but you get to choose whether you would like to present first or whether you would like the appraisal. I think I'd like to hear what they think.
Everybody look at me a while.
You're on.
So we're doing a BPP account, right? I don't do these. So give me a second.
What is BPP mean?
Business, personal property.
Okay. So,
That, you know, that's what we're not protesting property value.
Right.
It's the operation.
The state of Texas makes appraisal district, value business personal property. So, it's our stepchild. Thank you. For that. So, the difference that we made at the appraisal district was we went to a schedule and have not been on a schedule before.
Mhm.
So now we have a schedule that's based on rooms. Essentially, it's square footage or rooms. So your valuation simply has to do with what we believe the 4-bedroom, 2-bath, furniture and fixtures. What we think that totals. The part that's difficult about this is that a couple of things. It's private, number one. Like, you know, you have a rendition. I can't even talk about your rendition. It's confidential. So we're talking about this as generalities. So in general, we're valuing per room countywide, the same valuation on bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen, living room with a low end, medium end, high end kind of thing. So there's really not much else, in my opinion, for the appraisal district to say. That's what we're doing.
That's kind of what I figured when I saw this.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate for me to talk? Well,
I'm done.
if you're done,
I'd
okay.
rather just keep this thing going.
Yeah.
I'm only here because I'm paid to be here.
Just raise your hand and just tell me. I'll have to try to order it. No worries. No.
You have 7 minutes right now. Presentation questions
Um, this appraisal, do you know if it's which end of these, if the low end, medium or high end? I mean,
I'm guessing based on the total they
Yeah.
come up with is
it's,
a medium.
medium, okay, all right, that's fine. Well, y'all have,
Yes, that's correct. It's the middle one.
yeah,
This
Okay.
this is your evidence up there. I'm just projecting up here what,
that's your
okay,
stuff.
right.
so that,
And let me get this, Scott, just for a second, make sure my head is right on this. With the confidentiality realities here is we present this
we're
because
not,
the owner.
the owner, I'm showing what he has
We're not
presented.
presenting,
This is not our evidence. This,
We
they
have to
can,
be
they
careful.
can
We're
present
not allowed
anything
to-
they want. We can't,
Showing what's inside your house.
but you can.
You
Sure.
Okay.
And if you did, I'd like to know how you found out.
Yeah, no, well, there's an answer to that. No, there's an answer.
Little drone.
It's rendered. Some people render itemized. So you can imagine, we get a rendition from Joe Smith. And then we put it up here and it's on YouTube. And now everybody can find out what's inside
Oh,
that house. And we did it.
that's kind of a shame in some respects,
That's
but I have to present my information.
Well, you. Yes, yeah.
Maybe you can hit the delete button after this.
No, I'm afraid that-
And no, it's not that I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
No, but it's a real.
Fortunately, we have decent neighbors and as old as I am and from lifting all this stuff, God, if they come take it, okay.
But you know, some people also, when they advertise their place for rent,
Yeah.
they put pictures of the.
Right,
inside, and that-
exactly. It shows all that.
Yeah.
Okay, try to be as quick as I can about this. I saw a sheet about how it went to a general spread, and what I am presenting to you is my wife and I went through, more particularly my wife, itemized what we have in there. And we put what we pretty well feel, and she's the shopper of the family, she would know what these prices are. What we feel like it actually costs if we bought it new. Now, here's the reality. Everyone knows that we had the hurricane in late 2017. December 30th, 2017, we were back in operation thanks to our diligent work and everything. We did have to buy stuff some things at that time which are marked, and some things, once again, thanks to my wife, being able to scrub and clean, we were able to salvage and use. Nothing new except for a couple of little changes of decoration, i.e. artwork. I guess you could call it artwork. You know, little things to sit on the table and stuff. Had been purchased. No new beds. We haven't got new appliances or anything like that. And so, knowing the age, of course, I do have a little accounting experience, and you know, the appreciation value on things. I feel like that this is priced way over based on value. Now, if I went and bought new beds the next year or two, I can understand things going up. No, like I say, a new refrigerator, all that's been used since, in fact, since we bought the place in 2015. So if you look, I mean, I'm sure y'all can just scan the several pages of items. Page 2, it gives a value that we showed if we bought new, or replaced everything, the $22,315. On the last page, we took the items that were reused, page 3, that were reused, and we took that off, and we come up with a remaining value of $13,665 of the stuff that we had to purchase. Okay. Now I'm using, since I know a little something about accounting, about what the IRS says we can depreciate things. I'm sure y'all kind of have to follow to some extent that. Okay. And that's how I'm coming up with my bottom value, was $2,733. If we have a garage sale, I doubt if we could even get 2/3 of that. Not that I do anything like that. But like I say, we haven't purchased anything new except for the items that are replaced, you know, since December of 2017. So it is, I think, a depreciable value that's a fair amount, and that is what I'm appealing about, is on that. Now, recently I found out I'm supposed to come every year, I think, and update my personal property information.
Yeah, there is a rendition form that's supposed to be submitted.
Yeah, and
Getting back there.
it's something I just kind of, you know, yeah, because, you know, I don't have an office or anything like that.
Do on 8/15?
April.
Oh, 8.
Oh, that's good.
So anyway, this is my quick summary, which y'all can see on there about what I figure that it is worth. I understand y'all have the discretion to, you know, think about the value and come up with your own value. And I live with it. So anyway, that's my case for it. I don't know if there's any questions about. Yes, I understand, and
Does that help?
Well, I know.
well,
It helps us.
if I could say, I am swearing that as far as pictures and furniture, except for a few little knickknacks that you replace and buy, all this is true and correct.
Am I going to, I have. I'm gonna eventually have this sheet, but as I work through your stuff here. It's all fine, I mean. The replacement or purchase costs. Yeah, I guess one question that I would have is, where did these numbers come from? Are these actual purchases, or are these just what, like, it costs in the marketplace? You know, you have washer and dryer $940. Where'd you come up with $940?
Well, since I do have some other property apartments, I am buying or helping buy appliances, and that's what
Current rates.
Yeah,
Some-
yeah.
if it-
If I had to buy them new, I would expect to pay about that.
Because we have the scratching in place.
And,
Okay,
and they are not the high end, front end loaded and all that.
so these numbers didn't necessarily come out of your budget. Like, this is what we paid, you're just saying this is.
Well, excuse me, some of
Some
it,
of them did.
yeah,
Okay.
because we have a receipt from when we had the ARB situation.
What the appraisal district is never saying with business personal property is this is how much value you have at a garage sale.
Mhm.
We're not saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I recently had a garage sale.
Right.
And we had all this stuff outside and my wife was saying, what value should I put on this thing to sell, so I can sell it? And everything, I said 50 cents. And she's like, it's worth $50.
No.
And I said, well, then don't sell it at a garage sale.
No,
But if this is at a garage sale, like, I want it all gone.
Right.
So it's all cheap. But then there was things that we weren't willing to sell at a garage sale. So we sold them in a different manner. And that's what changes this number, because I think you're accurate when you say, if you had a garage sale, could you get $2,700 even out of it? Potentially, no. You potentially wouldn't even be able to sell it all,
right.
but it all still has value. And so all that I think is going on here, I think we're kind of walking hand in hand, and then we're just not getting down to that salvage value of it the way you are. We're saying that there's more value than 2733, even though the stuff is old.
Yeah.
We're saying that if somebody else had a 2,000 square foot house that was empty and they wanted to furnish that house so that they could rent it, and you said, I'll sell you everything in here. Their $2,700 is just not what it's gonna cost them. It's gonna cost them considerably more money. Maybe not 23,000. But it's just not 27.
That, I understand what you're saying, but the point is, that's what it is now. Now, like what I say, I gotta come in here and find out every year, so if I get stuff, I have to report it.
Yeah,
There, that would increase that bottom number.
yeah, there's the,
Yeah, and, I'm not trying to, let's debate pennies or nickels here. Let's,
yeah, yeah.
Let's say, okay, well, I am attesting that we have not purchased these items, since we were able to get back into operation.
Yeah.
Okay, now, once again, I'm sorry, I understand that things have changed, with the appraisal board, but I do know what I can do with IRS, which is these numbers that I'm giving you, which would mean that according to IRS, I've lost value in it, and that puts the value on it.
Well, it's sort of, except for the IRS will tell someone that you can have damage from a storm. And then, and let's say you had a $200,000 house, and the IRS will come in and say, you have $400,000 worth of damage. Well, that doesn't mean that someone that you have to pay someone to take your house. They're different. Value and what the IRS are getting at are two different things. And so people will often come in and say, well, the IRS said my house has $500,000 worth of value. Damage. And we'll say, we have $300,000 on your house. Like, your house isn't worth a negative $200,000. And that's because us and the IRS are not, we're not the same thing.
Right.
We're not doing the same thing. Again, I'm not far from you other than just this. At the end of the day, I don't think that there's a thing called value in use, and there's value in the use of your stuff, in your beds, in your dressers. That value is there's value to that in the appliances. And so I just don't think it's 2,700.
I don't really quite follow your line of reasoning on that. On there, but if that's the new way of thinking, I guess there's nothing I can say about it.
You're making a perfectly fine.
All I can tell you is to get us up to that 22,000. That's what I'm showing on here is what we're going to have to spend. Okay, at that point, yes, that value goes up.
One of the things you need to remember, it's not what you improved since last year, this year. The value of not all of your items in the house. It's not even but you still have all the other things in there. So those are all valued as well, not just improvements doesn't mean just new stuff. It means everything that's there. No matter what.
Yeah, I understand there is a certain right amount of value, you know, on stuff that we reuse.
I'm done. I kind of feel like I'm talking in circles.
Well,
So,
this is new for.
yeah,
For all of us.
I don't. In the past, we never had DPP protests ever, because we just had everybody value. We didn't use a step.
Oh, low end.
We just had, you
Right.
could have a 5,000 square foot house and we
Yeah.
had you valued at $5,000. And we just, when we get stressed, we pass our stress on. So this is what's going on.
I need to learn to do that.
You already do that. You should.
You know, I gotta sit and think.
But I'm done. I don't, I mean,
If you were to place your house from high end to medium to low end, where would you place?
I'm not sure what totally.
That high, low, and medium,
Yeah.
where
Yeah, I
would you put
mean,
it?
I'm not-
Oh,
I would
our
think-
house.
I would think medium,
Yeah.
it's not a fishing shack, but it's
Yeah.
not killing
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
bigger one is. Most of the stuff, man,
Okay.
yes, it is on the canal,
Yeah.
but the interior stuff is stuff that I've picked up, recycled. I do garage sale shop. Oh, I could do that thing and and I like to keep it current. For we have repeat renters. I want them to see new stuff when they come in. So it's very middle class. I
Yeah.
try to cater to the families who save up and they want to bring their
Yeah.
grandmother and their mother and their
Yeah.
kids and everything.
We've learned not to put the best in the kids.
I had to do it where I had chocolate sitting out, can't do that because the chocolate was everywhere. I used to have markers, I can't do that because the kids will take them and write on things. So you have to make it minimal to,
But that's part of the value of your house
Yeah.
in terms of renting is the character of it.
yeah.
And that's made by the furniture, and I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, that
is
sounds-
to add to your house.
It sounds like everybody here, we're in the new realm.
Oh, yeah, we're,
Yeah,
you know,
and I can,
we were introduced to this last week, so.
yeah, I can appreciate the toughness of.
Learning curve.
It's, we have, when we're doing residential property,
Mhm.
business things and so on. We have formulas, we have scheduled, databases
Yeah.
of
We have rules.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a bit more subjective, at least at the moment, it's a bit more subjective. And when you think about how we could try and systematize some of this stuff, it's bloody complicated.
Sure.
Because the variety and the scope of stuff that we have in short-term rentals go anywhere from here to here. Rents, you know, we couldn't put it on, it would be very difficult to put it on an income basis like we do motels or that kind of stuff. Because people pay what they're gonna charge, what people will pay, that kind of thing. So this idea of value and use is something that was kind of introduced the other day, and it again is rather subjective, but at the same time, if you think about what would be the value if there was nothing in your house or in your place, right? And you would say, well, it wouldn't be rentable, but at the same time, there's some value between nothing and
Something.
something. Yeah. Peggy, you were gonna say something.
Well, are we on our phone?
I think
We seem
so.
to be,
We-
we made this more.
Yeah. Well, you know, based on the chart that we have here, the medium end of it, I came up with a value between 15 and 17. If you add all of these up, it's 17,000. And based on maybe some of the condition of some of these furnitures and things, then, you know, the 15. Also, the value went up by 19,200. Of course, I divided that by 2, and I came up with 13,400. So anywhere between 13,400 and 17 is what I think would be fair.
I have to say that, I mean, 3,800 and the amount that you rendered for a moderately furnished home, it's gotta be way under what the total value of that furniture really represents in terms of, you know, it would be, I won't say a bunch of junk, but nobody's gonna rent. Or
Yeah.
now.
No.
Furniture in there. So, there is income derived from the value that you have in your furniture. So every 3, that means it'd be 2700. So.
Yeah.
And
Although it's, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have to, in the past, we have, in most cases, we've had some, so easy for us to say, oh, well, okay, we see what you're saying about, you know, it's or really nice, but that's better than the law, so it's hard for us to picture, although you itemize things that you have, if you buy them new. So we know you have some nice things in your house. So.
Well, and your value, you know, you,
Have other counties made the same?
I've looked through, because again, this is fairly, it's new for us.
Yeah.
I say new in terms of the approach with a schedule-driven process. And first off, the comptroller's office is lacks verbosity. It's a nice way to put it. And part of, again, the challenge here is when you talk about business personal property, the scope of all of it. It's not just short-term rentals and furniture and fixtures and things like that. But we're talking about, you know, inventory. You look at a BPP for a retail store with cash registers and shelves. You know, the range of things to try and accommodate in the tax code is really, really difficult. Other districts, I've been looking through some of their information and approaches, and I honestly haven't found anything, but I'll be honest as well. I haven't been able to spend as much time because we just started looking at.
I can't imagine that other counties would have this, the kind of stuff y'all have here, rental stuff. I mean,
You're right.
when you go to Medina,
The character
there's
of the
3
community.
rentals in the
Yeah.
whole
Right,
thing.
right. That's very true. And they put more focus on some of these other things where they've got a dollar store in every corner, and
Yes.
consequently their focus is on inventory kind of the BGP. Right, yeah, so you're very correct there in
Yeah.
terms of the nature of.
Well, like I said, I can sympathize with the job. If I have to, for hanging in.
Very honest about, the total and new replacement, you had 22,000, so we're gonna have to start all over, that's about what, I'm not gonna say that that's what you got in there.
right,
You did have to purchase some new items, and I said earlier, you had the existing items, so that's all part of this collection, not just what you purchased, new system. Right. You got down to $1,000.
The thing that, and I should let Ron chime in here, because he's been whacking on the calculator. You have an idea?
Well, I went to the low end and I don't see any outdoor furniture, or outdoor equipment on his rendition.
Yeah, there's,
So I didn't even figure that in. I went on the low end, figured everything in, it's 4 bedroom, 2 bath, and I come up with 12.
I had 12.5. And the one thing I was going to chime in here on is, and this is where I have an internal challenge with some of the approach is depreciation. Yeah. And they, at one point, were even giving us the depreciation schedule that they were using. I don't see that in their evidence as there's when I say evidence, there's from the district. So this is just all mushy. I agree with you.
12,600.
Yes. We're on the 12.5.
I'm going to 12.
Taxes on this are very,
Yeah, well.
We're not talking about.
It's
We have to spend hours looking for 10 cents, it doesn't match that. In fact, I'll give you the 10 cents, for God's sake. You can do it for 2 hours.
Sometimes, I like to appreciate it.
Yeah, bouncing the. Furniture is a different
Commodity emotionally.
No.
I would have a residential reason, and how it was important to me, how it looked.
No.
And so I think that's also.
This is where she comes in with her daughter-in-law and stuff, you know, they put the nicer looking bedspread on. I mean,
That's what people like.
You know, I make people return. I go to, there's a resale shop in Bernie, and I'm there all the time looking for little things. Yeah, it's the sister's attic, and I'm going to church, so I'm looking at that. I paid $25 for one little print, and every time I see it, I think, damn, I paid too much money for that. I mean, I don't have, it's just $25 is the most expensive piece of art for me here.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
Are y'all all like CPAs or something?
No.
No.
We're just like you, property owner.
Which is property owners.
We volunteers.
You know,
We
he does somebody special, so I'll consider y'all special.
We can lower it, you don't have to do that.
Well, I just say thank y'all for your time. Make a motion.
Yeah.
No. 2-2266. Down 881845 6. Which is 101 Fort Avenue. Addressing market and equity value. The community plan review board is currently on the value of 23,000 should be reduced to 12,500.
Go ahead.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and
Will be.
yeah,
Well, we should bring pictures to do that. I didn't know that.
that would be our suggestion. And don't hesitate to protest. Everybody should protest.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
We'll be here next year.
Maybe.
Instead of fishing, they're gonna come in here. That was the first thing I noticed was like,
Yeah.
why am I not dressed really well?
That's true.
Thank you very much.
You can take it with you, you can fill it out here, whichever works for you. You can take it online if you like. Well, so.
That's right out there. Any of this here?
This stinks.
All right, well, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Nice talking.
Thank you, too.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Next.
In person. It is case number 995.
Oh. Yeah, on page 1, the bottom.
Right down the street.
Yes, thank you. Text back and forth. Do I need to run?
Yeah, I'll go get him.
That's not.
Page 1, bottom.
So let's see, which one can I call out?
Yeah, there you go. You got two options.
Right. Pick one.
Yeah. Eamon, good morning, how are you?
We got you here.
Yeah.
That's okay, this is regular property.
I'll just.
Yeah.
Can I bring her in?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here, let me show you. If you want to place this out of your purse, you use that chair, but you'll be sitting over here. Okay, see this here? Just wherever you feel most comfortable. I don't want you to have to sit it on the floor.
Yeah.
Kind of like a doctor's office, you know, you always want to know where you're supposed to. Put your stuff. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Good. How about y'all?
Good.
Good.
You Dale?
Tammy Reddy,
Tammy.
she is representing the property owner as the agent.
Okay.
Annie.
TANN1.
T, Annie. real estate.
Yes.
Yeah, I recognize the balloon.
Yes.
Okay, Tammy, I have some administrative stuff to run through before we get into the specifics here of the hearing.
Okay.
So we are commencing the hearing on case ID 2022-995. Excuse me, account number 58605. Which is 145 Palm Drive in Rockport. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. We will verify what's under protest. Okay, market value and equity level are under protest. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a package you may complete a survey regarding your experience. The survey may be completed using the form which is available there. Or a copy of that is also going to be in the determination package that will be mailed out after the hearing. Or you can take this survey online. Information about completing it and taking it, if you're going to do it online, is at the top of that form. The survey is entirely voluntary, however, we always appreciate any feedback you may want to offer. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information is included in the package that will be mailed to you to document the determination. In accordance with tax code section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that has not been provided must be provided at this time. So this is important. I do see some evidence. Okay.
Mhm.
So you submitted everything and you intend to reference during the hearing? Okay, perfect. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Scott Wagger, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have communicated with the person in violation of tax code 41.66.
I, Joanne Ferguson, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Ron McCann, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Peggy Bird, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
Well, testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. So Tammy will be asked to swear in at this time.
I, Tammy Redden, do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct. I, Alan Burke, do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Hey, Tammy, I need to ask if you hold a license and certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing and Certification Board. On your left hand, there is a chart on the table that is the hearing procedure time. It's how we're going to run the hearing today. Takes one of two forms. Either you can present first or the appraisal district can present first. Just so you know, the five of us are on the table, the ARB and Bloomberg at the end of the table is the representative of the district. Scott Arrington in the back driving the technology is also representative from the district. You both have equal amounts of time, irregardless of who presents first, but you get to make a choice of whether you would like to present first or you would like the district.
The district go first.
Okay.
This account is 58605. It's a single family residential home. The address is 145 Palm Drive in Palm Harbor. The certified value last year was $390,020. This year it was noticed at $486,190. Picture of it, the aerial shows where it is. It's not, it's on Palm, but it's not on the canal. The dry side of Palm. And it's got like a carport on the side. All right, so there was the land value changed out here. We had a land table increase as well as a slight adjustment to the neighborhood adjustment for the improvements. other than that, this house year over year, I don't think it saw any changes. Oh, there's a function on the house because it's only one bedroom. And that was added. So yeah, there was a few little tweaks to the property. There was like, carport's really high, but the house is one bedroom. So I guess this is kind of, yeah, I would assume it's more than that, but yeah. We normally don't count. And I was just curious, I was like, but that is unusual for these cities, 1400 square feet.
I think that one nice big room.
It's gotta be a big bedroom.
And I know that when, this is my time or whatever, but is this actually someone's house or is this like a place that people do stuff?
This is a second home.
Okay,
It is a second home.
I'm just thinking, well, if you've got 1,000 square feet of, 1,000 plus of shared space in one bedroom, it's, where people go dancing or something.
Got a nice big covered porch.
Yeah. So the sales grid, so we've got sales on Fort Ave, on the dry side. And that one sold 21 for 298, when adjusted to be like the subject is 465. That carries on. We've got 203 lanes in, 104 Windjammer and 128 Ocean Drive. And they all adjust out. The median value for those ends up being 500. We've got two at like 465, 475, and one at 560 and 530. So it says it should be about 500. That's based on sales. The year of sales goes by. We collect the data out here. We had to change the land table, the neighborhood improvement adjustment. So, as I said, that's the bulk of the change year over year. There was also an ARB value on this last year, so that's also a recall. Okay. And the equity grid indicates a median value of 506,240. So we passed the litmus test as far as, we're not doing anything too weird with this. There is actually some funny adjustments because it's got the thing for being one bedroom and then there's something on there for it having a really exceptional carport and detached garage. But so it's also a fairly good sized piece of property. Is it bigger than normal? Oh yeah, well, not for the dry side. That's the dry side of the website. Oh yeah, yeah, but they're gonna be on separate
Land.
yeah. Yeah. So there will be, and it's on a water view land table, not the waterfront land table, and there's no explaining what it's for, but there's a 90% good adjustment on the land as well. There's a lot of annual adjustments. It's not great. But the sales and equity grid say that this thing should be 500. So we're at 486.
Is the one on Ocean Drive dry too? Because it looks like it's got water inside it, and I don't know if it's raining or. Yeah.
It's dry.
Yeah, it's on dry. The neighborhood is Ocean Drive.
It says
I
dry.
find that. Yeah.
It must be a flood.
It looks like it might have a view. Anyway, Tammy, you have 7 minutes, 2 minutes. Well, isn't that, I think this is the neighborhood house. I think it's the neighborhood house.
The neighboring house.
It's got, can you pull up 64666?
Are we talking about 128 Ocean?
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Just a second. You can go ahead, Mayor. Yeah.
I was a party to that transaction. That is a water view lot, but I will tell you, the water view of that lot is far superior to 145 because it can't be obstructed in the future. 145 can and is going to be because Ocean Reef cottages are building almost all the way out and it's going to obstruct most of their view.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we have 7 minutes. Want to ask questions or make your presentation?
Okay, so here's my position. And I've printed out in a little bit more detail. I cannot sell a 1-bedroom house for $500,000 for 486. And you're not comparing apples to apples. I understand that your comps are in the same neighborhood and they're close to square footage. But in my opinion, I don't think that a 10% adjustment is enough for it being a 1-bedroom house. At all. I can't sell this house for $500,000. The pool of buyers that we have for a 1-bedroom home is so much smaller than it is for a 3-bedroom home or a 4-bedroom. And I printed out 104 Windjammer and I printed out all of the photos so you could see what the difference is as far as, I can't sell a 1,700 square foot home with no bedroom. It's a little bit easier to sell a 1-bedroom, but I can count, I've been doing this for 15 years and I can count on one hand the amount of 1- and 2-bedroom homes that I've sold. So I personally feel like there should be more of an adjustment made because it's a 1-bedroom house. I was a party to the transactions for a few of these that we've used as comps. 128 Ocean, that's a brand new construction home. It was at the time it was sold. It's 4 years newer. It could be a 5-bedroom house. It has 3 full baths. It's about the same size as far as the dirt, but the dirt, in my opinion, has more value because it can't be obstructed in the future. 145 can and will be as soon as Ocean Reef cottages go up on the foundations that they just poured. I realize that this is an uncommon structure, and had my clients asked for my opinion, I would have told them to never build a 1-bedroom house. And just to prove my point, I mean, doing a quick search in the Rockport Area Association of Realtors website, in the last 12 months, single-family dwellings that are zoned to Aransas County Independent School District, there were 416 transactions. Out of the 416 transactions, 19 of those were 1-bedroom, 1-bath. There was only one which sold September 20th of 2021. That was a 1-bedroom, 2-bath. And the reason I didn't pull any comps and tried to do a CMA, I went through the 19, the 20, and none of them are true comps. I think that there needs to be an adjustment made for the fact that, you're comparing structures that have 2 and 3, possibly 4 more bedrooms than this house. And the cupola upstairs, I've been to the house. It's a winding staircase that goes up the middle of the cupola, and there's no closet, so I can't count that as a bedroom. And there's nowhere to even, there's not enough width to even put a bed or a closet. So that's my position. I think is very unfair to this particular owner that's in his 70s. I mean, he could darn near build this house for what y'all are assessing him at.
What is your opinion?
His opinion is 400. My opinion is more 425, 435.
When did they build that? 16.
Yeah, a couple more minutes. And ask questions, whatever.
Okay, you or somebody else has been here before,
Mayor,
you or another representative or them has been here before.
last year, it's my understanding, Paul came himself, Mr. Kennedy came himself. And his argument was the same, basically, that it's only a one-bedroom house. And it is only a one-bedroom house, and at the time, there had been a significant amount of rainfall before Coral Reef Cottages started developing that area. And all of that land out there was all underwater. So that was the reason, you mentioned that there was a kind of funky deduction on the land. I think that's what I was told by Kim and Gail was the reason for the deduction.
I remember. Whether they on decision. I don't know what it discussed for last year, but that was all we valued last year.
This, I mean, a one bedroom just does not appeal to the mass market, and I understand square footage is square footage, but like I said, I mean. I've had a very close working relationship with a builder, I know what builder cost actually is. And you could build it today. Even paying $50,000 more for the land than he did when he bought it. For what y'all are trying to assessing that, and I just don't think that's fair, because he is uncommon to every home that I'm aware of out there.
But that was his option.
It was his option. It was his option, but I mean, I have to beg, you know, put yourself in his position. I mean, if you were in a neighborhood where there were 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom homes, and you only had 1 bedroom, do you think your house should be assessed at the same value? I mean, I know the flip side of that. I know the flip side of that. When I get ready to sell it, when he calls me to sell it, he's gonna say, well, this one sold for this, and this one sold for this, and this one sold for this, and I'm gonna go, that one is a 3-bedroom, that one is a 4-bedroom, that one is a 5-bedroom. You're not comfortable. I mean, you know this. This is the way it works, and I think that it should be assessed the same way.
Okay, time's up for right now.
Okay.
And then, yeah, first I'll just let you, actually kind of, all I'm gonna say is. If this is what it would cost him to build it, that is at least what it should be worth. Nothing should be worth value less than what it costs to build it. That's makes no sense, because if it was worth less than it was cost to build it, don't build it. It cannot cost you more to build a house than you sell the house for, or else you should not build the house. The value of something cannot be less than cost value. Like, that's what it costs. So when you have something that's super unique, and that includes the nicest property in the whole county, something that's like, you can't compare it to anything because it's so far beyond it. So it's not just stuff that's bad, it's stuff that's good as well. When it's hard to comp, that's what the cost approach to value is for. Whatever it costs to replace it, that's what it's worth. It doesn't matter if anyone on the market actually wants to buy it, but that's how you value something that's very unique. So if you build a house that the entire house looks like a clown head, no one wants to buy this weird house, but it's not worth $0. We have to value it. So it's worth whatever it costs to build this weird house. So I think that's our position is this property would be worth, if this is what it would cost to build this house, that's what it's worth. And secondarily, this is kind of this is not this is a more specific thing that's kind of a strange argument, but there's plenty of square feet in here for like there is. So if it was that severe of a problem, you know, if this is devaluing this house by $100,000, it would cost less than $100,000 to fix it. And you should fix it. In that case, it's curable depreciation. It's called curable long-lived depreciation. So we agree that this is not as good as a 3-bedroom house. We totally agree. We've got a function in here for it. We've got a function on the land, I guess, because it was flooded before. That's gonna go into the class of the home as well. Features like that are gonna affect, you know, the class. Why is this house not a 6?
What class is it?
It's a 5 plus. It's a 5 plus. It was built in 2016 and it, you know, I would just say, I agree, this is unusual. You built an unusual house. It should be worth what it costs to build it minus 5 years of depreciation.
How many? 4? So can I ask a question?
Sure.
All right, so define assessed market value for me. Because I can show you literally thousands. If I went and spent the time, which I'm not going to, and went through ACAD, I do this for a living. I can show you plenty of homes that don't fit what you just said that you are using as criteria for this home.
Okay, so the same system is producing those values. Our schedule of cost per square foot, our neighborhood adjustments, the way our depreciation schedules work, our cost tables. The exact same system is producing the value for this house. Okay, so we're not valuing this house the way a fee appraiser does. We stand out there and look at it and comp it to other things. We're creating a statistical model that we can describe a house and it spits out a value. So if you're saying thousands and thousands and thousands of homes, when fed into this model, come out under market value. What you're saying is our model doesn't get to market value. We're light. It's producing low numbers. Logically, this number is also like you're making the argument that our model is not producing enough market value. And not only is that the same way this value is being arrived at, it's being retarded by a land adjustment and a main area adjustment. So I
does,
get that.
does the system change according to the neighborhood? Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, there are neighborhood adjustments. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of homes that sell for more than what we have on them for many reasons. Not all of which we can do something. But
Well,
I'm just saying this thing is not a run-of-the-mill home that you know, it's sitting somewhere and look at the sales and whatever, because like you said, there's unusual things going on. The best thing to do in this case would be, like I said, is just what does it cost to buy the land, build the house, and then take 5 years of depreciation. That's what we want to do. And that's where our numbers come.
Well, I respectfully disagree. I know what I could sell this house for, and I know how small the pool of buyers is, and I can't sell it for what you're trying to assess them at. I mean, if it was a 3-bedroom home that was 1,700 square foot, absolutely. And, you know, some of the ones that you've used as comps, I could sell for more than you're assessing them. I mean, you probably know.
Yeah.
Amen, yeah,
The question is,
I think I'm good. I think that. Does anybody have any questions of me?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna actually before 35, And here's part of my rationale, okay, the discussion about one bedroom is rather compelling. The other thing that I notice is, well, it's not super huge, that cupola up at the top is $40,000 to the appraised value that, that's a lot. So anyway.
I have to put this, that's a lot of credence. I understand how this point of view, I want to get that. I also understand the was. And agree that one bedroom room. Yeah, itself, yes.
You gotta find the
At a
right one.
great discounted value. And, I mean, the fact that you threw out the 425. 35.
Well, I said,
Yeah, in that range.
Yeah, it range. The fact that you threw out the 425. You know, what's the last year with the land adjustment? Adjustment.
well, I am under. I am under.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm at 425.
You have a comment, guys? Thank you.
I just know I can buy and sell that house real quick. I'm not gonna add some bedrooms real quick.
Yeah.
And I was
I
thinking
think that's the
35.
thing that's getting me is you can add bedrooms to that. Yeah.
I really wish that you could go out and look at this house.
I have seen it.
I'm sure
I haven't seen
it
it
is.
inside.
The inside, because like, I just,
I'm looking at the footprint and I know the property.
I mean,
well, okay, but what, I mean, they could ask vendors to sell it, but.
this is not what it's on. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
I'll have 435.
I'll go for 435.
Yeah.
Right, make a motion on 2022-995, 865, 1.5, Harbor. Addressing market equity values, it's the opinion of the trade review board that is determined that the value of 46.90 being used to 435,000. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Tammy, that's where we landed. You'll receive a termination package in the mail here shortly.
Thank you. And thank y'all for doing what you're doing.
Oh, you got started with.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank y'all. Bye-bye. Yes.
I'm sure, well, I suspect.
Yes, there's certain.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we're popular.
I think it's two people with the
Okay. How are you, Mr. Mike?
Doing okay. Okay.
Good. Which one is it?
Well, on page, I don't know if that's what we're doing, but.
Oh, okay.
I wonder why it's here.
Next, we have phone hearing.
Oh.
It's actually 2 hearings. So, I'll hand it.
2269 and 2270. This is the docket. This includes, 14. they put work.
I'm sorry, where are we? 64?
6, 9, and 70.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not, at the top, I'm laughing because
But today,
There one.
oh, this one.
Oh.
Are they doing?
What happened?
This, you
It's an all-in, she said.
Okay, this is the card. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 20.
Ray did so good at the first one. You're gonna do this one? Maybe?
Oh, yeah.
These are both, GCD. Okay. Still do anything. Absolutely. There you go.
We do too.
If you could pay everyone.
Get one at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like a farmer, yeah.
Hello, is this Evelyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, Evelyn, hi, good morning. This is the appraisal review board on your protests.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Evelyn. I have some administrative stuff to run through first. Before we get into the specifics of your hearing. So we're going to commence 2 hearings, at least we'll swear in for both at one time. I'll announce each hearing or each case as we go into them. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. And we'll verify what's under protest. Okay, market value and equity level are under protest. And understand these are business personal property accounts. We are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience, and the survey may be completed using the survey form, which is included in the determination package that will be mailed out after this hearing that documents the results of our hearing, our determination. Information about completing and returning it, if you want to use an online option that's available there at the top of the form. The survey is entirely voluntary. However, we always appreciate any feedback you may wish to offer. You also have the right to appeal our decision. Appeal information is included in the package that will be mailed to you to document our determination. In accordance with tax code section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that has not been provided must be provided at this time. So you submitted everything you intend to reference during the hearing. I see we have a number of pictures and things like that. Okay. Thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing an affidavit to that effect. I, Scott Wagner, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F as it relates to case ID 2022-2269 and 2270.
Hi, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with a person in violation of tax code 41.66F as it relates to case IDs 2022-2269 and 2270. I, Joanne Ferguson, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F. Oh, I'm sorry. Related to case 2022-2070 and 2022 269 or 2269.
Our own can be solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F related to case ID 2022-2269 and 2270.
I, Peggy Bird, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F, referencing case ID number 2269 and 2270.
All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath. So So Evelyn, I'm assuming since we have a signed and notarized affidavit from you that we are going to consider you to be under oath during these hearings.
All right, can I ask something? Upfront, please?
Let me finish going through this and then I'll let you ask the question so we can get through the preamble. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I, Eamon Burke, solemnly swear affirm the testimony I shall present to the appraisal review board for the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct. And this is going to cover cases 2269 and 2270.
All right, Evelyn, I need to ask you real quick if you hold a license or certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing and Certification Board.
No.
Okay. And lastly, you should have received in the information from the district chart in that package. It's called hearing procedure time. Do you have that handy?
Hearing procedure times.
Yeah, it's just a single chart, and on that chart it shows it's broken into two pieces. One if you present first, and the other if the district presents first. And if you don't have it, that's okay. We'll step you through what it's intended to show.
Okay, I'd like to request that this not be on YouTube.
So the reason our hearings are broadcast on YouTube is because if somebody wants to attend remotely, that satisfies our requirements under the Open Meetings Act. This is a public meeting without any kind of appointment or restriction. Anybody of the public can show up and sit in on an ARB hearing.
I was not conformed with that.
Yeah, this is not a confidential or not even a private meeting. It's explicitly a public hearing, with full transparency to anyone.
Maybe if you're not comfortable with that, she can do it. Hold on a second. She can go.
You can request a closed hearing. It has to be requested before the hearing. So I think we're gonna check and see
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
if that can be done.
Oh, hold on.
If it's any console, I mean, we're gonna check, you know, if you wanna ask for a closed hearing, we're gonna see if that's possible, but if it's any consolation, nobody watches. these.
If they do, they really can't hear it.
Yeah, they will not be
And they
awake
can't
for
see
long.
any of the pictures. Because we've tried. Hold on, we're still trying to find out.
Thank you.
I will be, if y'all have tried to play back audio in here, it's with the audio.
Give her the elements. I'd be glad to sit in on that with you.
Yeah, but we're gonna go on hold for a second and talk to the attorney. Here's part of the challenge, Evelyn, is that there is for a public meeting, as most all our hearings are, the agenda for those meetings is publicized ahead of time. Which includes the
Information.
the information on the accounts that will be dealt with in each session. And there are accommodations to deal with confidential and closed hearings, but it typically would be published as part of the agenda so that people don't come to what they believe is a open meeting and all of a sudden there's nothing there.
Right, or that we would redact or turn off the live stream because it's all recorded. And so with your permission, I don't even know who I'm talking to. Evelyn, with your permission, we're just gonna Mr. Scott Wagner, who's the chairman, is gonna reach out to the attorney. We're gonna get a copy of our most recent agenda and see that, see how she counsels him.
Let me ask a question. Is that important enough to you to not have this, have this confidential, that you want us to go through the steps? Or are you willing to go ahead and proceed with it as it's set up?
Well, I have to say, it was
unexpected, and it seems like a little bit of a privacy issue.
That's okay, that's the reason we're asking the question.
It's okay, if you want to go that route, that's fine, I just want to make sure that before we spend the time to check that all out, if you're willing to do, that you're totally uncomfortable with it and don't want to proceed unless we get a ruling on that.
Why don't we get it rolling, and then we'll get back with you with the information I have received.
Right.
So you want us to call back?
No,
Just hold on?
well, I don't know, it's gonna take a few minutes. It shouldn't be
You
very
hold
long.
on for a few minutes, though.
So did you want to answer that question that was important to you to make this confidential?
It makes me uncomfortable, so, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Just hold on for a few minutes. We have to do some research as to how we might accomplish that if we can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason it's on YouTube now, or it's being streamed on the internet instead of just being an unlocked door, which it always has been, was because of COVID. When COVID happened and there was a quarantine, this office was an essential job, so we had to keep working. We couldn't be quarantined, but we have to have these open meetings, but people can't come in the building. So the only solution was to live stream the meetings. So that's why that happened.
Thank you for the background.
It's just a practice now because who knows when it's gonna happen. And it doubles as the minutes for the hearings. And also because our building was destroyed and then flooded and whatever, ultimately, again, we need to get this room set up and then it'll be recorded and stuff more internal. So that it'll be really easy if something isn't streamed, it'll still be recorded locally. The record keeping will be, the hearings are recorded and stored locally. Server, Google servers. And like you were saying, the playback, one of these ceiling tiles will be pulled out and replaced with a combination of a speaker and a microphone. So that would be where the sound comes from. It should be the order of magnitude.
I just need to stand.
Yeah. You say how long it lasts? Or what you can do to-
It's much better. I couldn't move before.
I thought that happened.
It was like it came on so fast. It's like, oh. So now I learned, do not wash dishes.
Oh, I like that.
I should have gotten a dishwasher.
Yeah, but you still,
You still have to watch them, don't you?
yeah, and you gotta lean down and pick them up out of there. and
Yeah.
put 'em up. But you have a human dishwasher.
Right, I saw. He's pretty good too. I keep him around. He likes to feed me though. Oh.
So would you mind holding or would you prefer to call you back?
I can move if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah, we're fine.
That's fine. Either way.
Again,
You know, I did a search for that on Google, I Googled it. All I'm getting is ads.
What?
Ads,
Ask for
I have advertisements for those things. It's
not just this particular one.
that particular one and some others too, yeah.
once you go in and open, they have their address.
Oh, gosh, yes.
That's why I hate to do research sometimes, because you're paying for it for the next 3 or 4 months.
At least.
Yeah, I have some things that are, I've had for 2 or 3 years, and I've tried everything to get it to stop.
I tried blocking numbers and blocking emails, but for some reason I still get them. I don't know how that works.
Well, I even went in and, you know, to the bottom
Yeah.
where it says cancel, you know, cancel this.
It's fraud, yeah.
Yeah, I spent 2 hours one day going up to one of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's all the
Something to
things.
do with the cookies on it.
Yeah.
Get to read it, you gotta get rid of the cookies.
You have to clear your.
I don't think I can clear my.
I'm scared to clear something else that I don't want.
Mine comes up every day with, writing inside of the screen with all these messages. And then at the bottom, you can open it and read them all. I don't know, I don't know how to stop it. It's- And I think it doesn't take very long to read them, but they just all of a sudden, for having no reason to.
They're odd things.
Why do I? Read them.
Yeah.
There you found it. The magic spot. It sounds like from over here that when you do the right thing, the snap is louder.
Really?
Yeah.
And well, the reason this is taking so long is it's necessary for our chairman to check with our lawyer to see if we're allowed to do this.
Okay,
Okay?
yes, that's fine, thank you.
We'll get another conference call? Okay. Okay, good. Hello, Evelyn.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Mike Soto. I'm the chief appraiser for Aransas County, and of course, you were also speaking with Scott Wagner, who's the chairman of the ARB. And he recently called his attorney. The ARB has their own attorney for counsel on legal matters as it relates to the property tax code. And we were both informed that, we can enter into what's called a joint motion to have a closed hearing or closed session for your property, so that you don't have to disseminate confidential information in an open meeting. We can actually do that. But to do that, we have to have you sign some paperwork. And so we're going to make sure that we have your, let me make sure.
We have your email address.
Yeah, and don't say it out loud. You don't have to say it out loud. I just need to make sure we have it on record. And then we'll send that document over to you so you can sign it. And when we get it back, then we can resume your hearings.
Yeah. So here's the concern, okay? With the Texas Open Meetings Act, I think I may have mentioned this, the agenda is published ahead of time with a list of account numbers that will be held, or that will have hearings conducted for them. It's certainly possible, and happened before, to have closed and confidential hearings. And our agenda does in fact have an item. One of the requirements is that to have a closed session, it has to be on an item that's on the agenda, which yours is, okay, your papers are. So the only requirement we have is that we get, which would normally have taken place ahead of time, this joint motion to request a joint motion for closed hearing under Texas Tax Code 41.66 D1 would normally be signed ahead of time. We're gonna, it's allowed to do it now.
And we do have her email address. It's already been sent. So what you need to do, Evelyn, at this point is just sign it, scan it, return it back to us. I'll sign your signed copy, and then we'll have it. And then this board, this ARB will call you back after that's done. And we'll proceed at some point, some point in the very near future. Okay. I mean, today, but in the near future.
Yeah, right. Is that acceptable?
Well, it has to be. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, there's no other, he hasn't done it.
Right. Okay.
It is, I see it's here, I see on my email.
Okay.
Okay, so just print it, scan it, send it back, and we'll execute it on our end, and then we'll call you back here shortly. We'll probably take one more hearing in between, and then call you back to address your two cases. Okay?
Okay, I really appreciate that, thank you.
No problem. Bye bye.
No.
Okay,
Hello, that's it.
So we're not doing this right now. So we are still going, right?
Yeah, we're still going. But yeah, when this happens, we'll just end the YouTube live stream, record it locally, and we'll just save it to the shared server. So we have it, in the future, we need to reference.
Yeah, you guys know how to do that? Because I don't know what to.
Eamon will come around.
Yeah, I think what we want, what we've done for a couple.
Well, Eamon's our in-house technical expert.
And that's for this one?
Yes.
And you took back the,
I have remembered.
no, the
I don't-
sign-in sheet for the other hearing? Oh, you already got it. Okay, we reached.
Yeah, it's already
Okay.
done.
So do we need to close the hearing?
Yeah, you opened up a hearing.
Yeah.
And you need to make a statement that you're gonna
Yeah, okay, so,
suspend that hearing until you receive the thing.
so on, we actually didn't open the second hearing by case ID and account number, but I will reference the fact that we had started to address two cases, 2269 and 2270. We're actually putting those on hold. We'll address them and open them up individually as soon as all the paperwork for a confidential and closed session gets executed here at the district. Okay, so we are now going to do 2153. You guys know where that one is?
It is.
Wham.
2153. Yeah, it's on page 2 at the top. Okay, this is going to be by phone as well. All right, so we're going to commence a hearing on case ID 2022-2153, account number 8817803, which is 1405 Water Street in Rockport on the short-term rental BPP accounts. And under protest, I'm assuming it's just market value. Okay.
Is this on the phone?
Yeah, this will be on the phone, so I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even started until you go ahead and dial them off. Sorry.
Well, nothing's changed.
I'm so glad you're back.
And two, Scott. Add a little revenue tickets.
Sure.
Hello, this is Patrick.
Yeah, right?
This is Patrick. Patricia.
No, Rachel, Backlick.
Donald.
Oh, Backlick, it's under Patricia like the state.
Oh, okay, but you're Donald.
Yeah.
Okay. Donald, this is the appraisal review board calling for your protest hearing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Donald. I have some administrative stuff. How are you?
Good. Thank you all for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Sure. I have some administrative stuff I'm going to run through. We are,
Yes, sir.
before we get into the specifics of your hearing. So we are going to commence a hearing on case ID 2022-2153, account number 8817803, which is 1405 Water Street in Rockport. This hearing is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. And it looks like under protest is incorrect market value. This is a business personal property account. So we are the appraisal review board that will be hearing your protest today. We do not work for the appraisal district. We are appointed to perform an independent review of your protest. At the end of the hearing, you may complete a survey regarding your experience, and the survey may be completed using the form which will be included in the determination package you will receive in the mail after the hearing. Information about how to return that form or take it online is actually at the top of that form. The survey is entirely voluntary. However, we always appreciate any feedback you may wish to offer. You also have the right to appeal our decision, and appeal information is included in the package that will be mailed to you to document our determination. In accordance with tax code section 41.45H, all written material and evidence that has not been provided must be provided at the time. So I see we have a fair number of pictures and evidence here. You have submitted, the question is, you have submitted everything that you intend to reference in your hearing, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Thank you. The ARB members who are considering the protest have not communicated with anyone about the protest and are signing affidavits to that effect. I, Scott Wagner, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Kathy Hoffman, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with a person in violation of tax code 41.66. I, Joanne Ferguson, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Ron Cannon, solemnly swear that I'm not communicating with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F.
I, Peggy Berg, do solemnly swear that I have not communicated with another person in violation of tax code section 41.66F. In reference to 21.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I don't have to say it.
It's single, single
I'm
case,
sorry.
single hearing, no problem. Did I talk about the appeal? Yeah, okay, I skipped the one paragraph where it says you also have the right to appeal our decision, and appeal information is included in the package that will be mailed to you to document our determination. All testimony from all witnesses must be given under oath, and Donald, since we have a signed and notarized affidavit from you, we are going to consider you to be under oath during this hearing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I, Alan Burke, do solemnly swear affirm the testimony shall present in the appraisal review board of the Aransas County Appraisal District is true and correct.
Okay, Donald, I need to ask if you hold a license and certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing and Certification Board.
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Makes it easier. In the information you received from the district, there should be a one-page chart that's labeled the hearing procedure time. Do you have that handy?
I have that right in front of me, sir.
Perfect. Other people need to go find it. That chart shows how we're going to run the hearing today, and it comes in two forms. One is if you present first, or the other is if the appraisal district presents first. You both will have equal amounts of time, regardless of who presents first, but you get to make the choice of whether you would like to present first or you would like the appraisal district to present first.
I would like to present first, and I mean, unless your side speaks it, I don't think we necessarily need the full 25 minutes, but happy to spend that time if it gets to that.
Okay, now, if you're going to start, you have 5 minutes for now for your presentation, and then we'll have more minutes as we go along.
Understood. Very just kind of high level, if you look at prior year tax assessments, and this is a business personal property because we rent this house out as well as using it personally, of what I'm going to refer to as the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So this is anything not attached to the structure of the house, you know, mostly, you know, beds, TVs, furniture, artwork, that kind of stuff. Historically, if I'm remembering correctly, and when I reference historical period, I'm saying prior to this proposed tax period of $18,500. If memory serves me right, it was always going to come in that $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 range with the tax assessor's view of it, which I thought was fair. And when we kind of get into the evidence, and I, you know, tried to do a chart here in Excel of room by room, item by item, kind of what the purchase price was, and then kind of that estimated fair market value. A lot of these things were purchased in 2018, after Hurricane Harvey. Some of the stuff we were able to salvage, and so you see it's someone who purchased the house all the way back in 94, 95. And so I kind of tried to do an itemization and added up and provide photo evidence to support it. And kind of that got me to a total of about $9,100, let's call it $9,000 for the purchase price. And then to the right of that, I kind of put the purchase date. And then in the far right column, I put my estimate of the fair market value today. And that comes down to about $4,500. Most of these things you'll see, you know, televisions are incredibly expensive nowadays. They get cheaper almost every year. A lot of these items were purchased from thrift stores or brought in from other home in Bolton, Texas. You'll see we purchased new appliances in 2018. The house is pretty much all destroyed in Hurricane Harvey. But, and then, you know, most of the queen beds and headboards we were able to purchase at thrift stores or at Sam's. I mean, the mattresses, I believe we purchased at Sam's or Walmart. And, you know, lamps and other things were also purchased at thrift stores. And so kind of when I put it all together and looked at what we paid for it, it was a, you know, less than half the assessed value. And that was 4 or 5 years ago. And so my view is that that value should come out somewhere between that $4,500 and $5,000 for bed linens, towels, kind of the consumables that you got to replace every year. You probably spend $300 to $500, and we're having to buy those every 6, 9, 12 months or so since we rent the house out. But I mean, that's kind of my presentation in a nutshell. Happy to answer questions or get into details or specifics.
Okay, so just to make sure you're indicating your proposed total value is $4,470, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, you still have 2 minutes. Is there anything else you want to bring up? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to the district.
Happy to turn it over. Thank you.
You'll have more time.
Okay, so last year, this was certified at $8,000. This year it was noted at $18,500. You know, I know I'm addressing the board right now, but I'll just tell you real quick, Donald. The reason the value went up this year is because all our short-term rental schedules were updated. The BPP for everybody's short-term rental, the schedule needed to be updated. It was really out of date. We have people rendering $3,000 on waterfront rentals, and then people rendering $18,000 on little homes in a neighborhood. And that's not right. Because the people who are rendering high are trying to be honest and do their thing, and it ended up with it was all over the place. The equity was all over the place. So yeah, and we said, let's just put them all on the schedule. Well, the schedule was like 20 years old, so it needed to be updated. We're not saying your property appreciated $10,000. It's just that it needed to be, our number needed to be updated. And it's not just you, it's everybody. Okay, so this is an STR2 is what this was described as. You know, the values calculated based on room by room, the bedroom lids, outdoor furniture, kitchen, living room, that kind of thing. It's 18,000. I don't know what y'all have been through as far as the appraisal concepts, but I suppose we'll just provide a little, yet another little object lesson, just in case. All right. So this is where we're coming from, because the point's well taken. Why didn't pay that much? That's true. And not only did you not pay that much for it, can you sell it for that? Of course not. You can probably not sell it, period. Nobody wants your mattress. I don't care if you just bought it last month, you're not buying your mattress, right? Brand new, you buy it, no one wants to buy it. Go to the next, or go to the property owners. So we have a picture. This is the picture. Keep going. One more. Go to this one's good. Can you rotate this or no? Okay. So this is the stuff that we're valuing on the BPP account is actually kind of a lot here. It's that, all of this stuff would not be here in a normal sale, including that hand. Sounds ridiculous, but it's true. What it costs to get these things is not necessarily what we're looking at, because there's other things that go into creating value, right? So if you, like the cost of paint, it's the same cost to paint your house pink as it is to paint it white. But you should probably not paint your house pink because it would be better if it was white, right? So there is value created in how this stuff is put together. What's being valued here is not necessarily just the fabric and the wood and the plastic and the glass. It's the fact that this is a turnkey furnished house. So there's going to be a difference between, we're going to think about 3 breakpoints. You got the value of a house to live in or to rent long-term or whatever. That's this number. That's the home's market value. And then you have the potential for short-term rental. You all know that raises property just because you can make it a short-term rental. But then there's another distance, which is a furnished home. So you don't have to do anything. When you buy this, would we expect this to sell the same dollars if it was an empty box? No, nobody would. If the neighbor had a house that was spec home exactly like this, his is empty, this guy sells like this, they're gonna come in here and go, well, of course it's sold for that. It's fully furnished, it's a short-term rental, it's ready to go. They just put it on Airbnb and we're done, right? That's what's trying to be valued. That's the contributory value of this stuff. So, and it's literally everything. I mean, it's like, it's every single thing. It's the little flower pot and all the little prints and all the rest of that, because it's and the little sign that says laundry above the washing machine. So the effect that this would have on the sale of this home, I actually think that our class is probably too low. I don't think this is a middle of the road furnished short-term rental, because I don't think there's enough short-term rentals furnished in the county that are that much better than this. I mean, this seems nice. It seems pretty, it seems pretty, it seems nice. It's just 2 bedroom, yeah, 2 bedroom. So it's the thing is, that delta in the sale prices has to be accounted for somewhere. You know, it has to go in some pocket. And when people say, well, you should regulate people's short-term rentals like a hotel, or you should put them on an income value, or you should do this, you should do that. The thing is, that's why they get a VPP. They get a VPP account because this thing's set up and ready to go, you know? Actually, again, I think this one's actually pretty nice. I mean, I don't look at all of them. I don't know that you would do anything that much nicer and then let strangers stay in it, you know? Seems pretty well set up. And our schedule is, you're in the middle of the road, by the way. You're not the worst class and you're not the best class. And all we're doing is going through and counting rooms, seeing what's in there, and just kind of treating everybody with a broad brush stroke. I do think that if you sold this house empty, and then you sold this house like this, the sale price would be more than $20,000. I think it would be substantially different. But that is exactly what we're trying to capture with this number. Is the difference between selling it empty and selling it like this.
Donald, you have, did you make this? You made it. You have 4 minutes for
Yeah,
rebuttal
yeah.
on the other information
So
you want.
Don't want to get too down a rabbit hole and understand what you are pointing to. And I don't want to get into speculation as to whether or not I would get another 10, 20, 30, $50,000 selling the house furnished or not. Because that's just, in all honesty, that's just pure speculation. You're absolutely right. I can agree with you on the one hand, somebody might walk in and say, wonderful turnkey, maybe I buy new mattresses and sheets and towels, but I've got everything else and I'll give you another $1 grand. And you have other people that might say, this isn't my taste, I don't care, take all this stuff out of here. And if you leave it, I'm gonna knock you $3 grand to put movers. So I don't want to get out that thing, but I pulled out the kind of chart that was put together. I understand you guys needed to update the estimated values, and I saw how you guys kind of did it with the broad stroke on the low end again and high end. And I think what was like troubling to me, and I understand, yes, there is a value of me and my mother who went out and purchased the stuff and putting it together and having the turnkey kit ready to go. So I will concede that point that maybe there's a little bit of value added by doing the legwork to put this together. But what's troubling is if you point to the kitchen as an example, and you can, the photos, I don't know how well they came through on a scan. I'm sorry, I was having trouble loading up to the portal, so I emailed it. But this is not high-end kitchen appliances with lighting and melee and, you know, a $6,000 stove and $2,000 dishwasher and $8,000 fridge. And so when I go to kind of your low-end value, I'm looking at your value of kitchen on the low end, medium, and high end. On the low end, you have 5,000, medium 7,500, high end 10 grand. The purchase price of all our appliances, as well as the bar stool, is about $2,400. So it's less than a third if you're valuing me at the value of the middle end. So I just find it difficult to think that putting together a dishwasher, stove, microwave, and refrigerator from Home Depot adds $5,000 of value.
Okay, you have a couple more minutes, more information you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, the same thing too, if you want to go to the master bedroom or the, what I labeled as bedroom 1, you know, if you look at your guys are expecting that, you know, $2 grand in the middle range, not far off there, but kind of the big value for me was the, you know, living room and the kitchen, just because I know what we pay for those. And even if I were to go out today, even if I walked out right now to Lowe's and bought all new appliances for that kitchen or new furniture for that living room, I'm not going to spend anywhere near $5,000 or $7,500.
mean,
So I guess I would close with, I can see the point that yes, there is some value at having it as a package deal. But my understanding was that we're taxing the furniture, fixtures and equipment, nothing attached to the structure of the house, because that's in the real property assessment, which is separate from this. But simply the value of the furniture, fixtures and equipment that go into the house.
Okay. Amy, you have 4 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by stuff attached to the house. What do you mean by that? What do you mean stuff attached?
No, I got a little lost.
Okay.
Analogy of the paint of the other stuff. What I'm simply looking here is anything that if I were to convey the house without any furniture, if I wanted to sell the house without any furniture, I have to leave the ceiling fan attached, the lights attached, the floors, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I would just point out, like, this is extremely, like, it's every single thing in the kitchen. It's not just like the fridge and stuff. It's like the spoons, it's down to everything. So in the state of Texas, all property is actually taxable. You know, the shirt on your back is taxable because we have no income tax. But the categories that are actually, that do get taxed, are selected. So one of those is BPP, and within BPP, one of those is the stuff for a short-term rental. And so it's every single thing in this house. That's the difference between this being paint and floors and roof, just a bare box and as is. And honestly, I don't think we could do it for that much less than this. This adds up. There's a lot of stuff here.
Well,
There's art.
I would just address that. I mean, the art's either made by my mother, and so I don't know if you want, I mean, you can say it's $50 of art supplies, but I mean, I would even challenge, and I agree with you, and I've got other short-term rentals in Texas and other states, and I completely understand it down to the spoon, it's down to the paper towel holder, and I understand and respect that. But I would be hard pressed to even say we spent another $1,000 on all of the spoons, the dishes, the plates, the cups, the napkins, other decorations. I mean, and I've got other short-term rentals, like I said, there in Bear County and Austin. I have some in California. I've done this on lower end homes, on higher end homes. And, you know, I thought even at whatever it was, 6,000 or 8,000 last year, okay, that's kind of fair. It's not worth my time to fight it. But then when I saw it jump so much, I was just concerned of, okay, are they going to do this every year? And then second of all, I know what we've spent because that house was pretty much everything but the beams it's on were torn down and hurt apart.
I have a question, Donna. Do you have any outdoor furniture?
Very little, some benches, but they're probably from 94, 95. They were like oak benches and cedar benches that have been sanded and repainted.
Okay.
And there's probably a barbecue that, I don't know, $200 to $500, just a little gas barbecue you can push around.
Okay.
Are you on the water side of Water Street?
We are.
And we still have a minute. All right, Donald, you have 1 minute for closing.
No, I think just in closing, I think I understand what you guys did with the broad stroke on the low end, medium end, and high end. I just thought that the values in that medium range, if that's where this house is pegged at, you know, for the kitchen, the living room, and common area, was significant. You know, I didn't address outside furniture because in my view it was de minimis. I can amend this if you like, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
And so, you know, I don't really, you know, I see if you're doing the bedrooms at about $2,000, okay, maybe putting this stuff together at a few $100 of value, somebody else doesn't have to do it. But I just, you know, the kitchen and the living room really stood out just because of what we paid. And the fact that this stuff is 4 to 5 years old, 2017, 2018 till today.
Okay, thank you. Your time is up, and Amy, you didn't have anything on that. All right, so the ARB has time now to consider our decision on the value on this property.
Okay.
So you guys were.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Penciled in everything that was on his rendition that we got. And I came up with 17. Somewhere between 17 and 18. Between 12.
Yeah. 15. I pretty much came up with the same calculations and, you know, my question about obviously outdoor furniture and stuff. I would be good at 15,000.
Joanne, you got any ideas?
I came up with 19 to 15,000, it's fine.
Yep. Okay, now I'm gonna make a motion on your account of the decision of the ARB. Yeah, this is case ID 2022-2153. Account 8817-803, which is 1405 Water Street, Rockport. Addressing incorrect appraised market value. It's the opinion of the appraisal review board that the current noted value of $18,500 be reduced to $15,000.
All figured. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Hey, Donald, that's your decision and you're gonna answer us.
No, that's fine. You'll receive a determination package here in the mail. It should go out either later today or tomorrow for sure.
Thank you all for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay, have a good afternoon. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, at least that address.
Anybody else? Out there?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Tom, it's you there.
I'm sure you check into this,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a cheap area in California.
Oh, yes, there are.
Well, yeah.
Ghettos that make.
Yeah, so we have
So we're
we're good to go with her, and so we'll start off and then close the session. And
Apparently no one showed up at 10 o'clock. We'll have one more to be heard by affidavit after this. But you know, if y'all want to take a break.
Yeah,
or
let's do
whatever.
Need
Like
to
you.
call my son. I guess he's worried about his mom. Move slowly.
Yeah.
Hell,
I was gonna go get the water.
no. I have one already, thank you.
You could let Scott talk to his phone.
Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Good. Okay. You want me to order them? You're gonna? Yeah, get them coming and let me know, and I can go down and make a phone beforehand or wherever they send it, doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm ready. I was thinking Friday, I'm gonna go up to regional and pick up that steel. Do I need to pick yours up? Okay. Okay, if they're ready, I'll grab them for you. You want me to go ahead and pay for them or? I think so. Especially on the, because we're gonna need 24s on the 10 by 10s, and then the other, probably you're gonna get 24s on them or 20s. Mm-hmm. Yes. So probably no less than 22. But if you need 24 to get them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna need, 4 of the 10 by 10s, yes, and, what was it, 12 of the, 8 by 8s. That's what. All right, question, did Josh ever get back with you on the door price? Cause they're wanting to order, and they say they're 4 weeks out now. Yeah, I'll look away till next week. Okay. Okay. Good, okay. Thank you, Warren.
Oh, my. Vastus Los. Yeah, he gave this to me, but what the hell am I supposed to do?
Don't ask me.
I'm not sure that. Well, I'll find out. Oh, well, somebody laid this on the. In front of me like I'm supposed to sign it, but I don't have anything to sign. Anyway.
So we're back to,
Evelyn, which is 2269 and 2270.
okay,
Oh, I got it before, I think, yeah. And I swear, as God is my witness, we're gonna get this sorted out before next year.
Well, I think we've gone through a good learning curve this last few days,
Yeah,
and I think I'm getting a handle on it finally.
yeah,
And that's good that they send in their list of everything, so we can take it off of that, go by the schedule and kind of get in the area we need to be. That's what I think.
yeah,
You know, exactly. It is.
there got some.
and I don't know, the biggest thing I have is I don't know what to say.
I know.
Yes.
Because you
Or
go
how to
through,
explain.
yeah, how to explain this not scientific approach, and if you're gonna drag them through. Submitting a rendition and dealing with depreciation, which is one of the elements that is kind of not addressed from the district. If I had some way to talk about it,
Maybe they could establish some type of depreciation.
They don't know.
On each category.
It's just new to them too. They don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree.
They don't
Yeah.
know.
So
I think
maybe
this is
I'm
gonna
hoping-
go over some.
As we go
changes.
through the fall, maybe we'll come up with something by the time we reconvene.
And this
I
is,
think.
this is almost analogous to what we went through with income last year. Okay? And I think they recognize this as well, because
They're having trouble with,
Oh, sure, I understand.
Yeah, they all.
Just,
you know, because they're saying the same words over and over again. Because they really don't know what it's coming.
But I am confident something will be set in stone where we can have a better idea of what we go on. You know, but that's the only approach I have.
Yeah, no.
And I feel more comfortable doing it. I mean, if I was in that chair, that's what I would be comfortable. Just like my boat ones, I would be more comfortable if they did it just like a trailer pad. Give me a cost per door. You know,
Mhm, mhm.
not at $10,000, but it's different. You know?
okay.
Yes, it's so much for,
You could find it under those one, I need to put operation.
oh gee,
And I'm meeting with the windstorm inspector to certify them next week. Because I lost my non-TWIA windstorm, they went out of business. Weston.
Yeah, have you heard anything about what they're gonna do?
They're supposed to be refunding,
they
Well, I
refunded
know
mine.
that.
because I
You
just
paid,
paid
you
you
haven't got it back at
$500.
all.
Yeah, I got the refund back within a few days,
The money?
the money. the
Really?
refund, yeah,
Because I've done it through Yarborough. He's the one that.
yeah,
that
and
set up-
that's who I did it through, and I had my thing back.
Has he got a replacement
Yeah,
company to work?
I'm with Tuya, but that's okay.
See, I didn't have a WPIA, which is the TI inspection form, so that's what I've got to get now through an engineer, which is coming down from Houston.
Okay, so I see this is the,
Once I do that, then my rate.
It looks like you're already fine, so are we still doing
Okay, so
that?
now
Okay.
I
the doors are gonna hold, but the buildings are gonna be.
And you'll be doing it.
My buildings are built to be-
Tablet?
Oh, they are.
I don't think we need it.
I know, I make sure they do.
It's in the account.
Yeah.
Their
I'm a
their windows, they have those automatic shutters that come down. Those held, the whole wall got put in. But the shutters held.
No, these are built to withstand 150-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, gee.
I know, but I couldn't get anybody to design them, so I had to do it myself. And I didn't go with I-beams up, I went with 10 by 10 treated poles, just like a tilt house. They're in the ground 10 foot, concrete around them, so they're locked in. So. And then the I-beams and everything attached. It should. Okay, you know, all the doors are wind form, which adds another $500 a door. Oh my God. The door prices have just gone out of sight for 8 doors. Right now, wind farm, $23,000.
Just your building.
You got it ready.
Yeah, we're putting in 8 more units.
Okay.
Stay back here.
This whole thing.
Well, next time we have.
Are we doing
the
closed meeting?
Yes, we will, but I'm gonna open it up again first and explain what's going on, and then we can close, okay? You wanna dial her up? I think we're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, they will, and I'm just gonna. And now what's going on?
It'll keep doing the Zoom here. But it'll stop. And let's see.
So,
Well, Ellen? We were calling back, we did get your form back, and so, we will be handling this as a confidential, protest.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. So Evelyn, we were going through the preamble of the script that I go through for commencing hearings. We're still on the open meeting, mode right now. And, before I commence the first hearing, we will go into a closed session. So I wanted to, before we do that, I don't remember if I asked you whether or not you hold a license or certificate from the Texas Appraiser Licensing Board, Certification, Licensing and Certification Board.
You asked me, no, I do not.
Okay. And from the hearing procedure times, you should have gotten a chart and it shows what, whether the times and how we're going to run the hearing based on whether you present first or whether the appraisal district presents first, and you both have equal amount of time, but you get to make a choice of whether you would like to go first or the district.
Okay, do I make that choice now?
Sure, we can do that now.
I'd rather the district first.
Okay, fine. So, we are now going to go into a closed hearing. And we are